Hey there, YouTube. Well, today I was quite enthused to film this 2010 Lincoln Navigator with 42,000 miles. This one is four-wheel drive, and I have done a tour of one of these in the past, but that was with my older camera, the iPod Nano, so video quality was just awful. So I wanted to redo this. Here's the back end, and sorry for the glare. The sun is beaming right above me, and I'm quite squished, so sorry for the awful viewing angles. It's quite tight. I already bumped into this mirror. Well, pretty much the shape of this Navigator came out in 2007. The grille, back end. Was never too crazy about it because it just looks like a rebadged Expedition. And to be quite honest, in my opinion, the Expedition looks better. I don't know, the Navigator since 07 has looked quite half-baked. I actually prefer the 2003 and 2006 look. Here's the keyless entry, 5-digit code. As soon as you open the door, running boards will flip out. And you can see, black interior, ugh, black on black. This thing is an oven, you can just feel the heat wave coming right out. Well, I've tried doing over 4 cars today. A 2011 Jaguar XJ, the damn thing was dead. That Volvo C30 was also dead. You can see the key fob. Looks like a key that you'd see in a Focus. Just slap a Lincoln logo on there. So far so good. Well, let me fix the seat. Let me get this AC going because it is hot. Ooh, cooled seats, definitely. The Navigator's always had quite a nice looking interior. I prefer the look of the 03 to 06 Navi, but I prefer the interior to this generation. It's just better made. The previous one was just, the interior just deteriorates so easily. Plus it had that huge lid that used to flip open here that always broke. Well, anyways, let's get down to comfort. These Navigators were just comfortable. You cannot complain at all. The seating position is just fabulous. I mean, even the shortest person won't have any problem driving this. These seats are absolutely comfortable. This backrest, nicely bolstered. The bottom section even does a great job hugging your gluteus maximus, so that's spot on. Thigh support is just perfect. This high seating position, and aside from that, it does tilt quite a lot. This is where you adjust it right here. Backrest, lumbar support, memory seating. You guys saw. Very wide, not a problem whatsoever. Armrest very long. The pillar doesn't stop your arm, so I guess we can get down to interior quality. Let me flip down these sun visors. Dashboard is nicely padded throughout here. This area is plastic though. Runs right down to the sides of the center stack, even this piece far below that you won't ever see. All of this. Here's the glove box. It is quite tiny and it's damped, but the little cord that hooks up into that little hole right there, that little open hole, yeah, there's a cord that's supposed to attach there, but it's not attached right now, so it's just flipping out like this. And you can see the glove box is tiny, has a sharp edge, and this lid is hard as a rock. Not too great right there with the finish. A little bit uneven. Just closes a little bit too far in. Again, this section here nicely padded. THX certified, so this does have to have a good stereo. Analog clock, N-6 disc. Radio, has Sirius satellite radio, has an aux, I'll show you where that is, climate control, dual zone, and this is for the rear climate control. Same here for these buttons right there. Passenger and driver heated and cooled seats. I love it. I have it on full blast right now, as you can make out. I love having my ass chilled. Vehicle info, distance to empty, trip computer, MPGs, things like that. The setup, such as random little settings, such as oil life reset, auto unlock, things like that, power liftgate. Vehicle stability control, hazards. Let me lower this a little loud. And power liftgate. I'm not going to lift that right now because I don't know how close that car behind me is. This is for the four-wheel drive. I'll show you how that works. This ashtray, well, the little plug or the lighter's missing. Thank goodness. I'm glad it's missing. You can see these wood accents here. Microsoft Sync. So it has to have Bluetooth. You can pair your phone, iPod, what have you. This is very disgusting, this painted plastic here. You can see how ugly it is. But anyways, here's the shifter. Leather wrapped here on the sides. The front aid, so it will tell you when you're approaching something. And backup sensors too, so you're pretty much beeping wherever you're going. Tow haul mode. And I forgot to mention that this does use a 6-speed automatic, so thankfully has the appropriate gearbox. I have it in neutral, and let's put in the four-wheel drive. Okay, four-wheel drive is engaged. Yeah, you can feel this thing just wants to launch. Put it back in two-wheel drive. Here's automatic four-wheel drive, so as soon as slippage is detected, four-wheel drive will engage automatically, but I'm really not a fan of that system in these trucks. At least I wasn't in the 99 and 2002 system. I hated it. It was just so lazy. Not too sure how efficient it works on these. Well, anyways, dual cup holders. Side to the center console here. Slightly padded. It's basically a vinyl. This massive armrest in center console. It is sure-footed. It will not jiggle anywhere. It is quite deep, as you guys can see. Sorry for the glare. There's the USB and aux. You have a little net here to hold things. Tissue box holder, I assume. This lid is sturdy, will not jiggle. Padded, exposed stitching. Cup holders for the rear passengers, obviously. And they have more back there, so. Steering wheel, it's about average size, nicely thick, leather wrapped. Wood accents here. Radio controls, sync controls. Cruise control. And this is where you tilt the steering wheel. It does power tilt. Sadly, it does not telescope. I find that quite disappointing. I would have loved this steering wheel to telescope right here. I really would have wanted it towards me. Headlamps, I assume it has HIDs. Pull for fogs. Automatic headlamps right there. Let me just leave it on. E-brake. Adjustable pedals. You can see the throttle and the brake pedal move. It's been a Ford thing since '99, I believe. Dislodge the hood. Now, here is the door panel. Nicely padded on top. Wood accents here. Armrest is just a pillow. But surprisingly, the rest of the door panel is this cheap, grainy plastic. Definitely something that should not be found in a vehicle of this class, but remember, a lot of carryover parts from an Expedition, so that's quite disappointing. The speaker grill looks so cheap, like that out of a subcompact. Now, you can see this painted plastic here also gets disgusting. Window lock, power windows, both windows, auto up and down, only the front windows. Power door locks, power mirrors, and they do collapse. Just have it towards the center and they will collapse like so. You guys saw, turn signals are also there, they're LEDs. It's quite good here on the A-pillar, which is actually covered with this cloth. Gaps are quite even, everything. Even the passenger side, pretty much even all over, except for those weather strips. They don't look too good. And you can see right there on that door, the weather strip on that door is just kind of funky looking, looks kind of uneven. Headliner is plush. Holder here for the sunglasses, very cheap. You can see the plastic right there just shaving. conversation mirror, so if anybody flips the birdie behind you, you'll know it. Nobody can hide. This is for the rear vents. You guys can make out, so anybody breaks wind, you'll still have ventilation back there, so passengers won't be dying. Gross. This mirror does dim. I don't think it has a backup camera. Yes, it does. That's cool. Backup camera. Yeah. It is quite tiny though, but it works. Sun visor is padded and it has its mirror and vanity light. It's a secondary sun visor to flip down if you want once you have this flipped out. Mirror and vanity light on the passenger side. It does slide out like so. And again, the sun visor is nicely plush and thick. So, lighting fixtures, push on, push off. Let me leave the sun visors down to reduce glare. And here's the HomeLink garage door opener, basically a universal garage door opener. So you can program this to open the gate to your gated community or your garage door, whatever it is you have. So, yeah, let's check out the backseat engine and the cargo area. This is panel dim. Got to show that off. And here are the wipers, intermittent speed, rear wipers. Obviously the turn signal lever. And you can see this instrument cluster, it does look rather retro. I used to say retro, but I've learned retro. Legroom, back seat is just perfect. It's just cavernous. Qualities do carry over into the back seat when it comes to the door panel. Nothing changes, except on the front you have a huge piece of wood right there, hunk of wood here. Over here it's padded, so not really much of a downgrade. Now, the positioning of these seats. It's high off the ground. Thigh support will be good, and it does have good leg room. I actually did have the seat adjusted way further back than I would have liked, so it ought to compare to how the passenger side is. Backrest, you can see, reclines. And look at this fat center console. It's just huge. I mean, you can fit massive objects in there. Another tissue box holder. This one is a little bit jiggly though. Not sure-footed as the front. Dual cup holders, and this is so dirty. Remember, this is a previous rental, you can see. I'm not even going to read out what it says there. These seats are actually heated, not the kind of thing I want right now. Rear climate control adjustments. You guys can see. I have it off over there, so it's not going to work. This is for the radio, headphones. Here are the AC vents. Ford has been making these AC vents since '97, possibly earlier. Same exact design. Let's access the third row, tumble this headrest. You do this if you want to level out the floor. And let's flip it open. And you have access to the third row. I mean, it's a bit clumsy and very bulky, but it works. And you have access to the third row, which is actually very good. Thigh support will just be awesome. It's just high off the ground and it is cushiony. You have the cup holders. But yeah, legroom is good, despite this being the short wheelbase. But there's really not much of a difference between the long wheelbase, the Navigator L. Well, you saw how that worked. Oh, this tour is going for 17 minutes. Big truck, big tour, sorry. And this glass does pop out. I saw. This is actually for the wiper. The wiper mechanism is right there. Just hooks onto there and then the wiper works. You really have to slam it though. It's an electric liftgate. I did have room, so. The backup sensors, jack, storage, and these seats do power fold, so you do have to tumble the headrests. Yeah, that's a bit clumsy. These headrests would have been great if they were flush. Look at those hinges. They're not looking too hot. Let me at least fold it down, doesn't matter. You have the subwoofer to the side, so this stereo has to be pretty good. There's your flat floor. It is quite slow. But you guys can see. And I'm sorry if it was out of focus. Let me close this door. Well, I'm not going to wait till that thing closes. It's self-explanatory. This does ride on 18-inch wheels. Rear disc brakes, obviously. And to the size right there, 255 70/18s. And yes, this does use HIDs and the fogs down below. 5.4 liter single overhead cam V8. Pretty much just a 3-valve engine, 24 valve essentially, 310 horsepower. It's pretty much at the back of the pack right now in terms of power. But it does have torque. The torque is there, but it's definitely needs to go. Ford still does this on the current 2012 model. They really need to shove either the 5-liter and the EcoBoost engines in these trucks pronto. And really update the exterior styling of these trucks. It's really, it just looks, ugh. I mean, the engine does sound great though. Well, let me at least close the door so you guys can hear what it sounds like with the windows closed. It's very quiet. Engine noises do not intrude. It's quite pleasant. Well, YouTube, that's it for this 2010 Lincoln Navigator.